Welcome very, very much. It's a great pleasure on this December 30 of the year 2014 to welcome to the program Gregg Cannizzarro. He is a friend of mine that we were just reminiscing. It must be at least 20 years that we've been going back. And I can't believe, I don't know about you, how fast it's gone.
It seems like I was telling you before in the studio that like every 3 months, it's my birthday.
Yeah, I know.
Unbelievable.
Anyway, so good to see you again, Ken. I mean, Greg, it's really good to see you. And we're going to be talking about filmmaking and all that because you've got a whole lot going on since first we met some time ago. I got a lot going on. We're going to share things in the future. But anyway, welcome so much. And I know you're only just back in town recently. But anyway, welcome so much. We're going to talk about filmmaking and so forth. You know a thing or two about filmmaking, if I understand.
A little bit, I would say.
A little bit.
Well, I go back a long ways.
Yeah,
and,
you do, yeah.
As you know, I said in past shows,
yeah.
You know, I started way back in 1980 at HBO Studios, and I was a technician at that time, and I segued after that into going to the Tisch School of the Arts in NYU because I felt the thing to be a little bit more expressive with my art, which absolutely resulted in making some short films and then some feature films and winded up in California and getting involved with a wonderful group of people at E! Entertainment, doing the Emmy-Award winning show Talk Soup, which I produced.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, so
you did something with Tippi Hedren?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it was
Tippi.
a film, right? You were out there in L.A. in that milieu for a while,
I had an idea of a mother's premonition involving her only child. So I approached Tippi, and she was so gracious and wonderful. And she said, yeah, I'll do it for free. And it just turned out into a wonderful little gem of a film that holds so dear in my heart. And just a thing that came out of that, which was amazing, Harold, was her Shambhala Preserve.
I don't know. What is that?
The Shambhala Preserve is an act in California, and Tippi takes in wayward tigers and
no kidding.
Yeah, like you know these guys that like grab these like little cubs illegally and they like got them in their basement. You know, she takes them and puts them in a pristine environment that is conducive right on her property.
That's really important work.
Hey, you want to hear something even crazy?
I really think it is. Really, give her if you're in touch. Congratulate her.
Let me.
Maggie would love her, my friend. You know Maggie. Yeah,
absolutely, absolutely.
And you got somebody in your corner.
My chief marketing officer, Rosanna Pontoro.
God bless her.
You know. But you know what's so interesting is that the Hells Angels are the ones that take care of the property for her.
Damn.
Who would think, man?
Yeah, right.
I mean, really. And Tippi's daughter, Melanie Griffith, her son-in-law, Antonio Banderas. Future past son-in-law was Don Johnson, and I don't want to name drop, but they're all activists. And the wonderful thing was that I called them the Three Musketeers because it was Tippi, it's Bob Barker, and it's Betty White, and they're really proponents to animal
rights.
Yeah, animal rights.
Important.
And abuse in circuses and all kinds of cool stuff. So look up the Shambhala Preserve.
Yeah, by all means. I didn't know that. And how long were you out in L.A. for?
17 years.
Wait a minute.
My
17 years. From what year to when?
I went out there in 1990.
90.
Yeah. And I still got residence, and I go out.
You were out there in 2007.
Oh yes.
Did you break your ties with New York?
Well, never, because I'm a New Yorker. You hear my accent, man. I mean, seriously. I always, I'm a published poet, and the first thing observing California, I said, poetry-wise, a friend is what I seem, but seeming is only the garment that I wear. Welcome to Hollywood.
Yeah.
It's not like New York, it's like boom, boom. In New York, what you see is what you get.
Is that right?
Yeah, out there it's like, what are you wearing? You got a script, you got a manager, all kinds of.
Really, it's all film. It's all film industry or entertainment.
It's a little surfical.
Yeah.
Where here it's more real.
More real here, but this is where you're rooted.
I'm born and raised here.
Born and raised
well,
hear
here my accent.
I
it never
love
changed out there. I mean, sometimes the police officers they ride on bicycles. So say in Santa Monica, when the lights change red,
right down on the ocean.
Yeah, but when the lights change red, nobody beeps the horn.
Is that?
Yeah.
You mean waiting for the? Oh, really?
Oh, absolutely.
What, they're just, is that
and
polite?
when it says when you're
Or
walking,
is that polite, or they're just over the hill? They can't take it anymore.
well,
you
that's
get some
the
pretty
way.
bad tie-ups on the freeways and so forth.
Because they have 7 lanes, but they have so many cars.
Yeah,
You know, we're in New York. You know,
Yeah.
most of
You don't
us. You
even
know, you
need a
take the
car.
train.
Yeah, you don't even
know,
need a car,
or
yeah.
and if you're in Europe, the rails. You know, and stuff like that. But- Yeah.
But so you got both. You've been in Hollywood, and you went to Tisch before you went to Hollywood.
Yeah, the Tisch School of the Arts. You know, paid that loan a long time. So guys, you know, stay diligent. And ladies, stay diligent, because eventually your friends Sally and Fanny
Are
will...
those the bill collectors? Are the name of the bills that come? Is that it? They come floating in like
You'll pay 'em off.
snowflakes in January. No, it's terrible what happens to students now. They build it up. When I went to school, they had a GI Bill. Everything was taken care of. It was a different era then.
Yeah.
You know, things have changed a lot and everything.
The parents, it's so hard for them. I mean, the parents co-sign for the loans, and
And they
it's just
cannot get out of it. There's no bankruptcy, no nothing. They're just trapped like indentured slavery.
And usually at that point they're senior citizens, and if the kid defaults on the loan,
You
okay,
mean
they
the
take the
parents'
parents' house.
Yeah, right.
You know, the only little thing they might have left. But you know, he and I can go into politics 1,000 times.
Yeah, we
but-
can and everything like that.
We have
But
a good time with that.
But listen, we got some clips and everything, and as I understand, you walk in, it's always with Gregg, there's always something going on, you know, and you've just come back as one thing, you got a logo or something that we wanted to let people see. You've got a major thing, Go Indie TV Productions or something, right?
Yes, it's a production company, but it's a network.
It's a network too, and it's
Yeah.
big dimensions and big distribution that's beginning to happen in a unique social media kind of way. Is that fair to say?
I would say it's fair to say. You know what?
Uh-huh.
And on that note, right?
Yeah.
How about this? If it's cool with you, how about we show your audience a little bit about what it's about?
It's not cool with me. Of course it's cool with me. What are you, crazy?
So we
if
say,
it's cool?
roll the clip.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, let's have that. What's it, a minute or so?
Yeah,
long.
it's
So
not
let's
long.
roll the
It's
clip.
not long,
Just a
but
little
it'll give you an
introduction.
idea
It
of
gives
what we
you an
do.
introduction of what this young man's up to. So let's roll that clip now then, and we're talking to Gregg Cannizzarro. There it goes. Okay, that's good. That's a good introduction. I got a million questions that can come off that. That's really good because
you.
you've got so many things going on now, and it's good for us to get in touch about that because what you're doing is you're setting up production and distribution systems that is it correct for me to say you're taking advantage of the possibilities that is emerging through all the technological development of what's called social media? Beyond Twitter, beyond YouTube, beyond
Tumblr and
all
Pinquest
that.
and whatnot.
You're taking advantages for creation of good good short clips and so forth and everything, and also the means of distributing it to great numbers of people within the system that now exists in terms of distribution capability.
I would say the word advantage is for the independent filmmakers and the documentary people and everything, because what we're doing is we're giving them an opportunity, non-exclusive, guys. Now let me explain what non-exclusive means. Is that we're not tying you down to anything. If you make a deal, you make a deal. We got nothing to do with that. What we do is that we look at the platform, and the platform starts with the talent. And there's so many filmmakers that walk this planet never being able to make another film, because where it comes down in just the purest sense, and I'll say this as quickly as possible to understand, is that a filmmaker, a true filmmaker, only wants to make back enough of money to make another film. So they usually have to raise these monies from family, friends, blood donations, this, that. They go to film festivals and they get entered into these film festivals. And the part that I really don't like is that if you don't accept their product, how about giving their money back? Because you know what? They need it. And it's not about eating out of a soup can or whatnot. So the short is the advantage is for the filmmaker, and that's what we're looking for.
That's what we want to have a concept where the filmmaking can begin to flower in a major
But it needs a platform. It needs an audience to love it and to say, hey, I never knew that little gem was out there. Let me watch some of their other work.
You call your thing indie gems.
Yeah, it's indie gems.
For a good reason. You're looking for gems.
But our company is Go Indie, because Go Indie says to the filmmaker, hey, you're independent. My mantra is stay indie at 24 frames per second, because that's life in a film camera.
Wait a minute, 24 frames a second, but it's 30 frames a second in TV.
In TV, but we're in film.
30 frames a second, but you're in film.
Yeah, we're 16:9.
Wait a minute. Now, wait a minute.
You're good, man. You're good.
No, I'm not. Well, I guess I am. My mother thought so. I know that. At least my mother.
Well, she did a good job.
And my older sister was pretty good that way too. But anyway, I mean, 24 frames. You're in film and video?
Absolutely. We're in film. We're in television.
What do you like? Are you into developing film yourself? Or are you into getting other people's program distributed? Where do you fit into the overall working space?
Well, first and foremost, I'm an artist.
Okay, good.
I walked more than 10 miles in the track of rejections, and every no is a step closer to your yes. How many no's can you take? And it gets frustrating with artists, and my whole company, from my president, Paula Schwartz Cannizzarro, my Chief Operating Officer, Cami Coyote. No, I have all women running my company.
Really?
Yeah. Well, so we got Cami Coyote, my Chief Operating Officer. We have Erica, who you met, Erica J. Santos, and she's the president of our broadcasting. And then the amazing woman that you have now met, Rosanna Pontoro.
Ballroom dancing. Yeah, right. No wonder she's
that's
in
what
such
I call
good
her.
shape.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. But she's doing some marketing and stuff like that, right?
She's not doing some marketing. She is a genius at it.
Okay, good.
And I really don't go anywhere without her. She's just an amazing woman. And then we've partnered up with Cerno Technologies.
I don't know what Cerno Technologies.
Cerno Technologies is founded by Sanjay Chadha, and
sounds like India.
Yeah,
we're going to want to talk about that.
But he's based here in America.
Okay, yeah.
And he has CTLivePro.com. Okay. This is just one of the many successful apps that he does with the company. But he did this in partnership with us so that you could have live interactive voting with the World Supermodel pageant. We'll talk a little bit about that in a minute.
Because you've just come back. I know we got a clip about that.
Yeah, right? Absolutely.
And you're involved in that.
I'm involved in it, but my company is. It takes a lot to make something. I'm not going to come and take credit for everything that we do.
You're not?
No, because you know what? I have just a talent.
In the business.
I don't need my head blown up. I am, higher powers, blessed, whatever people call it out there or whatnot. When it comes to the team around me, that's what makes me.
Yeah, right.
Without them, I'm nothing.
Yeah.
Seriously.
you'd be nowhere without Schwartz.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you realize that, don't you?
Well,
Every
she's
day.
my wife.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah, no, I would be. I would
No,
be.
but what's the reality that's emerging now? Because we have all of this capability coming out. Everything's cyber now, it seems like that. And everything's going, and it's going exponential.
I know.
Have you been following it right from the beginning?
Yeah, you know, when I seen the curve
can
coming...
you keep up with it? I mean, I have a hard time, you know. I'm older, but, you know, it's hard to keep up with it.
You ain't old. Stop it already.
I'm not. Well, never mind. But
Okay.
anyway.
Let's go back to any of your shows 10 years ago. You look exactly the same, and you're as sharp as you ever were.
Well, I don't know about that, but maybe.
Well, I'm not stroking you. I'm telling you the truth, brother.
My mother used to say nice things about me way back when, God bless her. But anyway, but I'm in a different thing. You're in a thing where you're on the cutting edge of what's going on. You understand it better than I.
Because of my daughter, Olivia.
Okay.
She's just started
She's got a good...
Carnegie Mellon is in neuroscience, you know. I'm taking neuroscience. She got in at 17, but when I look at her age group, it's just this fast food media that they're all into. Yeah, you know, when you and I grew up...
Fast food media.
Yeah, they just want this stuff overnight, you know, instantaneously.
Yeah, right.
And, you know,
And
if you bore them
to...
this quick, they...
Yeah, right.
Too many choices.
That's what. Yeah, there's so many, and if it doesn't come up, they just are gone. You know. So it hasn't been possible to be able to do that out of history.
Oh my gosh.
Everything took time. Everything was slower. The pace is just picking up so quickly now, and also the clips. There are clips that are very short. Very short attention span or something, perhaps.
That's what I told you, right? You know, our program is short attention span theater. You know, you know, entertain me real quick, or there's too many choices.
Your gems thing. That's something. Now you've got.
Well, when we grew up, what did you have? You had Channel 2, Channel 4, Channel 5, Channel 11, and PBS.
Listen, let me share something with you, young man. When I grew up, I was in Detroit, Michigan. Okay. And we had a dentist next door to my middle class family. My dad was a lawyer, and it was the Second World War. See, that's way back. And in '46, there was no production other than bombs and whatnot for the war against the fascists. And they had 1946 was the first time you had any new products. Everything was old. They made products that really could last in the 30s. The cars would really run. You know, they weren't.
And they could get hit.
No, well, but
made
anyway,
of steel.
They got the first Dodge, 1946, off the assembly line where things started, and they put a television set in the corner of the living room. And Greg, there were some things going. Mr. Paley and Mr. Sarnoff were starting things here back in New York a little bit. But in Detroit, there was literally no television at all. There was a test pattern with an Indian head, and we used to look at the damn test pattern. That's
Puts
how
in foil on.
Yeah, no.
Is it coming in?
No, there was no television at all. So, I mean, then it came, and you had to get videotape project. You had to get that invented, Mr. Sarnoff Sr. And so it's been a long period of that. But the television, but now cyber is coming. All the cyber stuff was coming along just flat practically in all that time. And then it goes like that, and it's going exponential. And it's all internet, and it's all computers now.
Yeah.
Isn't it? It's just come.
It's all streaming, and that's why Going DTV got into very early into the streaming video game.
Now you're into streaming video.
Absolutely.
Now let's talk about that, because there are possibilities. And if you have don't you have a thing, Indy? You have people submitting things to you. They're good editing clips. Gems, as you call them, and you get that distributed to a number of people to be able to see and maybe discover the talent that the people are involved with, the gems that you do. Could you spell that out a little bit? Is that what you're dealing with?
In simplicity, yes.
Yeah.
Let me say this, and you know, there's a toilet seat for every and like this. We get a lot of different submissions.
You get submissions.
And Cami Cleota.
You have people. You want people to submit stuff to you to be considered.
But here's how the process works.
Like a gallery.
We're not. Yeah, thank you for saying that. You know, we're not agents, we're not managers.
No.
What we do is these submissions come over to our Chief Operating Officer, Cami Cleota.
Yeah.
And
from around the world?
Yeah, from around the world.
Yeah,
I mean,
right.
we have channels. We have Go Indie TV UK, Go Indie TV Canada. We just did a very lucrative deal supplying material to the Fiji Broadcasting Corporation, which is the ABC of the South Pacific. They have 333 islands that they broadcast to. We also do classic TV. But to get back to how the process works, is that we look at these. Our chief operating officer picks certain things, and then she presents it to the board, and we see if that is a filmmaker. And when I say a filmmaker, that doesn't mean male, female. First-time filmmaker could be 90. It's their first film. And then based on that, we'll premiere it on www.goindietv.com.
And do you look for quality?
Yes,
but
let me get that one across. www.goindietv.com. Okay, those are our 20-minute versions. Okay, and if we get a really good response from their fans and people, then it could go to our Go Indie TV
Do you
Roku.
help build their fan base?
They need to do the homework, not us.
Okay, spell it out.
Right, they do the homework. Okay, and then we could take it to our platform of Go Indie TV Roku, which would bring it into our Canada markets, our UK markets, our Ireland markets, Spain, Germany, Italy,
you had
and
the
so forth.
capability of making that available in those platforms.
Instantaneously. Instantaneously.
And efficiently and dependably.
In the best light of their film.
Who else is doing the kind of thing you're doing? Are there very many people trying to do what you're doing in the way you're trying to do it? Or what's the reality there?
Well,
because there's
look,
so much...
you got Netflix.
Yeah,
and like this, Amazon, Apple TV, this, that, and whatnot. Right? They're doing the big movies and whatnot.
Hollywood.
We are for the independent. Do you remember, Harold? Let me say something. Me and you, right? In the '70s, we had great filmmakers. From the Scorseses to Brian De Palma, and they were making these interesting films just about their times. And we want to find those people. Those people. And we do animation, too.
And you got all ages involved in that? It's not
all
just
ages.
All young
we even
people?
have a film school.
Okay, and then you do that. And are the opportunities for distribution growing? I mean, as it...
There's bottom feeders, Harold.
but do you know exponential? Exponential is like you go 110 something. This is 110, 100, 1,000. It's just going, and it's just coming relentlessly. The ability to have distribution and programming and development in cyber things. Well, it's not going to stop.
No, it's not, and we don't want it to stop.
Okay.
Or this whole tribe. You know why? Is because these middle level and bottom feeder distributors have been, not above the board with the money's coming back to the filmmaker. And now, which is so amazing, with YouTube channels and stuff like that,
the chicanery in the marketplace.
It's going away because the filmmakers got control finally. They could go and put something and create a YouTube channel, and if somebody is interested in, they could keep their own monies.
YouTube's good?
YouTube is fabulous. Vimeo is fabulous.
Vimeo.
Vimeo.
And you got Roku.
Now Roku is on a whole different level. Roku, they offer everything from HBO Go to independent. We have a library of classic films, classic radio shows. You remember The Shadow? Who knows? The Shadow knows.
I remember The Lone Ranger.
We have Petticoat Junction, The Beverly Hillbillies. I could go on and on. Dragnet. Alfred Hitchcock Presents, The Lucy Show. We also offer those shows, for people.
Are they offered elsewhere? I mean,
are they offered?
You're offering those. That's a lot of programs out of the past and everything.
Correct. There's a Library of Commerce. And
you don't go into radio and things.
Of course we
radio?
Yeah.
Is everything going to be available to us somehow?
I think everything is available. When we go into our retro stuff in our programming, it's about not forgetting about it. You just said about World War II. All right? I'd be hard-pressed how many, when I say kids, maybe 19, 20, 23 or whatnot, actually know what that was all about. Forget World War I. They forgot that already.
Yeah.
So it's like that with film.
My dad was in World
We need
War
to understand what Burns and Allen were, and we need to understand what Jack Parr was, and all of these people.
Jackie Gleason?
Jackie Gleason.
The honeymooners?
The kids today, they ain't gonna know who they are.
Yeah,
So
really?
no,
they
look
don't.
at when they're 19.
What do they know? I mean,
They know the shows of their
are you on top of
era.
what the youth are doing? Are you
like I said, I
you're
have
trying-
a wonderfully just turned 18, November 25th. Olivia.
Yeah, but she become a scholar, right?
Yeah, and she's very intelligent.
Yeah, right.
Very intelligent.
Runs in the family.
Runs in the family.
Yeah,
was mentored in the business by my uncle, my mother's brother, Dominic Serio, who retired as the senior vice president of HBO.
Familia.
Well, he was the senior vice president of HBO. He started it down on East 23rd Street. So we all grew up in a technical world. So, it went like that. I executive produced Stephen King's Lucky Quarter. Had a fabulous time. Him looking for young filmmakers. And when I say young, the same thing. Don't matter if they're 90 or if they're 15 years old.
That's interesting.
Giving them shots.
Is it true?
Absolutely, it was true.
You think the kids don't have a leg up?
Oh man, I wish I had these toys when I was growing up.
Yeah, isn't it something else?
What did we had an 8mm camera. Those were fun.
I did have an 8mm. I had a Snyder lens on a camera, 8mm, just millimeter, 35mm snapshots and stuff. And then, I had an 8mm.
My wife Paula and I the other day was watching things. This will make you laugh, right?
Yeah.
On VHS.
Yeah, right. Oh, I got
home
VHS
movies that were shot.
I got them, yeah.
And we were like, oh my gosh! And it was just, the quality of those cameras. Today, you could buy these GoPros. They're like this small for $300,000. Go underwater.
They got high definition on a cell phone you carry around in your hand. What are we going to end up with? 7 billion TV channels or something? I mean, everybody's going to have their own channel or something. Where in the hell is it heading? You got a pretty good sense of the pulse.
I think it's heading, unfortunately, a little bit. I'll be candid with you, to information overload.
Well, there's a term. I've been doing a lot of intellectualizing and all that in my life, and there was a guy, oh shucks, I can't remember his name now, but it'll come to me in a minute, who looked at that cyber development because it goes along, and he said the information overload permits pattern recognition, that you're able to, there's 100 trillion cells in a human organism.
Amazing.
And every cell matters. Every cell is connected to every other cell in a pattern. So what it allows is you to be interested in a whole lot, the relationship between a whole lot of different things rather than the details of each of the individuality of each of them. Do you understand?
Right.
So
it serves a purpose.
So you can get an overall picture. And the information overload may not be a bad thing. It permits pattern recognition. Oh, damn, it'll come to me in a minute.
Keeps the brain sparking, the synapses going?
No, it's a development of extended consciousness that the technology is. It's a thing, and it's going exponential. It's not just going arithmetic. It's going exponential. And so information overloads we may be able to get a look at the overall operation of a system like there's 7 billion people in the world, 7 are heading for 10, UN says, that we're going to be able to get a way of linking to the whole of the human society, just like the 100 trillion cells in a human organism create a system.
And you have 100 trillion choices now.
Yeah, well, okay. Bring it back down to earth. Yeah.
When I'm channel surfing at home, right? Yeah. And I go, I see something like The Naked City. You guys might not know about that TV series. And it's not about anything but perversion. It was a cool detective series shot here in New York. And then all of a sudden you see Return to Planet of the Apes. And you go, what should I choose? What should I choose? What should I choose? There is 1 trillion choices.
Yeah. And it's only going to grow.
Yeah.
And what's it mean? I mean, the thing
is, where's it heading?
And we got the social media. Then we got all the social. We got the Twitter, right? Paul Levinson says that he thinks the medium of record has become YouTube. It's multimedia. The thing that really the newspapers, the print, the linear thinking, and the things that come out of the print era. We only had print and that kind of thing for a long time, and now we got this other thing. but the medium of record is like YouTube and multimedia.
Yes.
So we're involved in that. You and I are both involved in that.
Oh, absolutely.
And what you're doing is you're reaching out to a great number of people, and we've got to move along on this program, if you don't mind.
Absolutely.
Because you just, if I'm not mistaken, you just got in about a day or two ago from across the world in Fiji.
Yes.
Is that something we might talk about? Or
Yeah.
you've also got things going on in India.
Oh, I'd love to talk about that.
You got things going on in India, too. Whichever one of those two, pick up on.
Well, you know, let me start with a very visionary individual called Gavin A. Dooley. Gavin A. Dooley, he created the worldsupermodelpageant.com.
Wow.
And, you know, I met him.
That's brilliant, isn't it?
Oh, when I tell you about the brilliance of this gentleman, you know how I met him?
No,
I met
I'd like
him
to
through
know.
LinkedIn.
LinkedIn.com.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. And, you know, we reached out and we spoke with each other, and I seen this wonderful, different version of what a pageant can be.
Okay.
And we started talking, and over a period of time, I became his media partner. And
How long ago was that you made that connection? Maybe?
That connection was made about a year ago.
A year ago,
Yeah.
long time.
He was running. He started out, you know, doing things on an upper level with Miss Universe and Miss USA and stuff like that.
Yeah, right.
And so what happens is that he tells me about the World Supermodel Pageant, and this year he was holding it in Suva in Fiji at the Pearl South Pacific Resort.
Where has he held it other times?
He's held it the last 2 years there, China, Taiwan, any place, but it wasn't in the United States yet.
Not the United States.
So I'm going to lead it to this.
Yeah,
so
okay.
what happens is I have a restaurant with my partner, Nick Guitart, in Long Island City.
Yeah,
Not
right.
Long Island, Long Island City, guys, in Queens.
Yeah, right across
and
the river,
it's
yeah.
called Open Door, opendoorlic.com. I'm going to give you a shameless plug. But here's the bottom line with it, is that the general manager, Natalie Marletta, she flew out and met with me there where they were going to host the event at her hotel. And we all hit it off, me, her, and Rosanna. And the next thing that I know, there we were with the Fiji Broadcasting Corporation. And
Where was this met? Where was this meeting take place?
the meeting took place in my restaurant at the Open
good.
Door. Well, not my restaurant, my partner, you know. Without
No,
Nick
but it's
Guitart,
at
there's
the-
not a restaurant.
It's
I
right
mean,
around the
he's
table.
guy.
It's right around the dinner table
Yeah,
already.
right,
yeah,
but
it's from
she's flying in
India,
from
yeah.
Fiji, mind you.
Yeah, right, okay, yeah.
And so we went down there, and
You went down there to Fiji?
with Rosanna, my
Yeah.
chief marketing officer, and
yeah.
and Sanjay from Cerno Technologies, and a partner of mine as well. And just a fabulous time with the most interesting women that this gentleman, Gavin A. Dooley, has chosen.
These supermodels you're talking about?
Supermodels, and we're going to be airing that very
that's
shortly on
yeah.
my show on the
Okay.
GoIndieTV.com
Fiji's
network.
about halfway around the world, I think. It's
Yeah,
gotta
it
be
took
as far about
us
as
6
far away
hours
as
to
you
get there from New York, and then I think it was like another 12 from Los Angeles back. But you know what the exciting thing is? And then
You
if
can't get to Fiji in 6 hours.
no,
can
it took
you?
us 17. It took
I
us
would
6
thought, yeah.
from New York to L.A.
Oh, I
Then
see.
there's a
Wow.
layover. Then
Okay,
from
yeah.
L.A. over there.
Yeah.
But the most exciting thing
And
that
you just come back from that meeting a week or so ago. or
yeah,
month
we
or so
just finished the show, and soon you'll find out who wore the crown. And
So you videoed it, or you?
yeah, we had
produced-
7 cameras, full
7
crew.
cameras.
Yeah, you know,
Oh.
it's done
That's
like
a
anything
huge
else.
thing, yeah.
You know, that you see, and that's compliments of Jack, my good friend at the Fiji Broadcasting Corporation.
Okay, now
Thank you, Jack.
was it broadcast in real time anywhere?
Yes, it
or-
was, and then right now it's back in the United States, and we're cutting it up and
You're editing.
making it. Yeah,
You're putting it together as a piece.
yeah. You know
Yeah.
the perfectionist I am, so you know.
You are a perfectionist. huh?
Yeah, so you're going to see a really great show.
Yeah.
But let me tell you what's really cool
Okay,
is
who's
that
gonna have
next
the
year
rights
it's
to that?
going to Hollywood.
Yeah.
It's coming to the United
mean the
States of
Fiji,
America.
the-
The World Supermodel Pageant is coming to.
Is that definite?
That's absolutely
the ink's
definite.
dry on the contract?
Everything is set in
Yeah.
stone.
Where's it
and
gonna
it's
be?
Gavin
What
A.
venue?
Dooley. Thank you.
Who's Gavin O'Dooley?
Gavin A. Dooley is the creator of the show for the last 11 years.
Oh.
Without him, you know,
He's
there's
the
no
one who put it
whatsoever.
all together. Supermodels, right?
Started 11 years ago, and he also does Miss Teen.
Supermodels are up there with movie stars.
Yes, but he also does Miss Teen Australia. He owns that one, and he also does Miss Teen World. So we had both of those going on down there: Miss Teen World and Miss Teen World, and the World Supermodel pageant. And then he left and shot over for a brief moment in Taiwan, I would believe, and then he lives on the Gold Coast, and then did the Miss Teen Australia.
Where's the Gold Coast?
It's in Australia,
Africa?
the land down under. These,
the Gold Coast.
He's Australian.
Yeah, but I didn't know there was a Gold Coast in Australia.
It's a thing, as he explained it to me, surfers go on this kind of route, like they go to Hawaii to surf, there's a certain place, and then the Gold Coast is another, like,
I see.
You know, with those big waves and whatnot.
Are you one of those
He's
surfers?
in Melbourne, he's a good Kiwi.
Yeah, okay, you're going through a whole lot of stuff there.
Yeah.
You have a clip that relates to all that?
Yes, and you have allowed me to play that one, so tell him.
Well, I'm just saying, ladies and gentlemen, drum roll, please. We have a clip, 1 minute and so many seconds.
Gavin A. Dooley, creator of iconic international events and beauty competitions, is presenting his World Teen Supermodel Pageant 2015 in Hollywood, California, in association with media partner Gregg Cannizzarro, CEO of Go Indie TV Network. The pageant will be broadcast on the Go Indie TV network to an international audience that will have interactive online voting capability designed by Sono Technologies. On Monday, Mr. Dooley released this statement from his corporate headquarters in Queensland, Australia. The World Teen Supermodel Pageant winner is much more than a stunning beauty. She is an inspirational role model for all teens to follow a healthy lifestyle and positive image of themselves. The 2014 pageant is being hosted at the Pearl South Pacific Resort in Fiji on November 29th. The Pearl South Pacific Resort's general manager, Natalie Marletta, released this statement to the press. We are excited that Mr. Dooley has chosen our property for a second year. The World Supermodel Pageant and Miss Teen World Supermodel Pageant encompasses class and beauty with the exotic backdrop of Fiji that is the Pearl South Pacific Resort signature. Who will wear the crown? Only time will tell. I'm Seb Marley, signing off for Go Indie TV Studios in New York.
Bravo, author. Boy, that was great. That Fiji's a nice place, right?
Well, thank you for allowing me
and
to.
And it's down in ink for next year. Right?
Oh, absolutely.
And
it's coming to the United States
Where?
for the first time. Right in Hollywood. Right on Hollywood Boulevard.
They
right
got
on
the
Hollywood
venue
Boulevard.
where it's gonna
yes, but I'm going to leave it to you, Gavin, to make that major announcement.
Well, so you were out there. How long were you out there? How long did the shoot take? Couple of weeks?
A couple of weeks.
Yeah, right.
A couple of weeks.
It was like a vacation, or
yeah,
you
but what a
worked
team!
your head off?
What a team! Him and his wife Christine. And, you know, she's also like the chief operating officer. You know, Christine, who they just and Herc and you know the whole team, Jonathan and Ashley and all of everybody.
You got any more credits?
No, I just like to always give people credit behind the scenes. They just did such a wonderful job down there.
Did you ever see that thing of Lucy Van Pelt? You remember Lucy Van Pelt and Peanuts? Or Charlie Brown?
Okay, yeah, you hit me with the Van Pelt.
She walks in the room and she's got a big baronial thing like this, and she says, "Charlie Brown, I've done a great service for you now. I've listed all of your faults." And the scroll went out and right? You've listed all the people that are involved in this, but that was just a thing that occurred to me. I'm sorry, it just came up out of my head and everything like that. But you've listed all your credits, and you get credit to everyone. You spread the energy around, don't you?
You know
you
what?
always have, haven't you?
You know what? To me, I'm maybe a mouthpiece. Without these people around me in my life, I'm not sitting here with you.
You're having a good time, are you?
Yeah,
Life's
and I hope they're having a better time.
Getting better, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, now listen, you're so hard to keep up with. I'm really happy to see you again. We go back. I still love that film you made about the Italians, way the hell back.
Prisoners Among Us.
Anyway. Yeah, Prisoners Among Us. Yeah, it was a hell of a film. You really put your love into that.
That was really, what Roosevelt did to my people.
Is it still out and about?
Yes, it is. You could get it at Ellis Island, prisonersamongus.com.
You can get it there.
And
Ellis
Tom
Island.
Brokaw was a very egregious individual and lent his talents to it, as well as Tony LoBianco. And it's about the internment camps in California with the Italian Americans during Roosevelt's era, and him thinking that we would engage with Mussolini and not want to shoot a cousin and stuff like that.
Really interesting.
Yeah, it's just blindness of humanity, you know. It's
but you really put it together with love, and it was a really good film. That was when we met. I think it was back then. Anyway,
we discovered it. We discovered it. Okay, you know, putting it together was somebody absolutely different, the actual genius behind it, Michael. And that's what we do. We find like gems, you know, in the rough.
Gems.
Yeah,
Indie gems.
He's so good. I love you,
well,
man.
I love you, Dad. We go way back and everything. I got to get out to that restaurant, and I will.
Oh,
but there's more.
Keep emailing him to come over to Open Door. I wanted to take him tonight. You know?
I can't do it tonight, but
Busy guy.
And I don't do Chianti anymore, you know, but I would like to do that sometime. But
We'll
anyway,
make
you got
whatever
else.
you want or whatever you want
Thank
to drink.
you, my brother.
You want some ginger tea, we'll give you ginger tea.
Good. Okay, anyway, you've got other things going. And one thing you got going, and I got it from you, from the grapevine, you got a big thing developing in India.
Yes,
Maybe
very
we could
proud.
address that a little bit. We got a clip we want to play about it. But share with us what's going on with the country of India, and also I think in Bangalore. Recently you were.
Bangalore.
That's where the center of all the IT is down there in Bangalore and
absolutely.
everything. But share with me, India, your connection with India.
Right.
And your
Here's
team.
where some blessings come, and once again, to the people out there, LinkedIn.com. You know, I met a gentleman, Yogesh, and Yogesh Agarwal. He just is a visionary. He has the #1 media service company in India, and he does also a talent search on his own and a whole bunch of other things that I would be going on and on. But he flew out and met me at the restaurant there in Long Island City, Queens, and we discussed about independent filmmaking coming from Indian-based artists, men and females, and the propensity of, there's a big community inside of like New Jersey, California, New York, of Indian Americans that, you know, are looking for programming coming from India. And what it resulted in was an Indian version of Go Indie TV, and he took it to another level and said, well, why don't we even do this incredible film festival to discover them? And so
you got about 1 billion people, I think.
When you're going to roll the clip after this, but how it worked really quickly was it just on December 6th in Bangalore, had an amazing film festival
just
down
this
there.
last December?
This December 6th.
Boy, you Rolling Stone, there's a thing about no grass, no moss, or something like that.
No, without them, I mean.
You're moving, brother. You and your people are moving. Yeah, that's good.
Absolutely. And so it was a tremendous success. And, you know, it's going to go to New Delhi, and it's going to come over to Mumbai. And the Yellow Umbrella team, Yellow Umbrella Media Services is the company that Yogesh has. They also have a division of it in Texas as well. And the basic thing is that it's the Yellow Umbrella family that has made this vision work. I planted a seed, they took it, passed the football, caught it. And to tell you the immensity of it is, as you said, roll the clip.
Okay, let's roll that clip. We got a clip and we'll come back talking with Gregg, and let's roll that clip having to do with the India situation.
Go Indie TV.
Go Indie TV. Here it comes. Here's the clip.
Thank you, Harold. You're so pulled out, it's ridiculous.
20 million people. Okay, there's a lot packed into that. Now, you want to spell it out a little bit for us. You got a thing going to India. Spell it, spread it out a little bit for us. Explain it a little bit.
If you go to goindieTVindia.com, you will see 26 amazing films that are up there right now, and we are broadcasting it also on our Go Indie TV
Say it
Roku
one more
channel.
time. Go.
If you go to www.goindieTVindia.com.
/India?
No, just
India.
one
All
more
one
word.
Okay.
GoIndieTVindia.com.
Okay, what do you see then?
You will see 26 of the most amazing filmmakers, and guess what? For free. Right now.
Filmmakers, what, biographies of them?
No, they're
or what?
films.
Oh, they're films.
We have everything from documentaries, animation,
Do you have
and
them
it's just the
broken down
beginning
by
of
subject and
right.
everything? Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. And
How many? How many?
Right now, 26.
26, and they're being available to anybody in the world?
Anybody in the world. We want them to get a taste of it and to see where we're going with it.
And they're full films?
They're
not just clips
the
or
ones
something?
that are on GoIndieTVindia.com are short films. And the features are on
Those are the
our Roku channel.
Okay,
That broadcasts around the world. So we're giving a soft launch, and we're letting the people start to understand that Indian filmmaking is such an amazing technical art. They make movies like the way D.W. Griffith. They could just pound them out with this great quality, and a lot of it's dancing. But
Yeah,
we're not
they
doing
are.
those kinds of films.
You're not
we're,
doing-
No,
they're-
we're doing independent, the cutting edge artists coming from
Journalism?
India.
Journalism?
We
No?
do documentaries. Yeah, absolutely.
And you're working with people at the India...
I'm working with a genius, Yogesh Agrawal, and
Now,
and
who is
Yellow.
that? Who is that?
He is the CEO, founder of the Yellow Umbrella Media Services.
The Yellow Umbrella
Media Services located in Mumbai, India.
Which is the Hollywood, Bollywood, yeah.
Yes.
The seat of Bollywood.
And his staff, the most from Guru Ra and Remy and all of these people, you know, they're just so unbelievably talented.
And
Thank you guys,
What
seriously.
you're trying to do is help the word get out to the broader world about this stuff that could become available to them. What is your role in all of that? That's
my role
or your
is
team's role.
my role, the Go Indie TV role, and the Yellow Umbrella role is that we're 50-50 partners, and I also am an advisor on their board, and to just celebrate the Indian filmmaker, because you know, here in America we really don't. You know, we remember Slumdog Millionaire and whatnot, and not that it wasn't a great movie, man, but it was done.
Hotel,
Hey, it was done by an English filmmaker. This is done by people that are Indian, and they know.
You're right. They have a lot of dancing, a lot of movies, and that kind of stuff.
Oh, and they do it brilliantly. But we're on a different level.
They must be. That's for the India market. You got 1 billion people. I think, don't you? Almost 1 billion people.
And you know what's incredible
in India?
Yeah,
and that's a huge market in itself.
Oh, yes.
And they're scattered all over the world. And then there are people who are aficionados of those. That Indian culture,
of course. But you know what really endears me to Yogesh is that he's heavily into charity, and you know I do the program down at the Holy Apostle Church on 20th and 10th.
You're talking now yourself now?
Yeah,
now,
you know, Monday through Friday.
What program?
We feed 1,500 homeless people here in New York.
Tell me about it. Go ahead, spell it out.
The Holy Apostle Church.
You can't keep up with this, young man. I mean, you got so much.
Sometimes I can't keep up with myself.
No,
Thank you, Paula and Ro and Cammie and Erica.
So you're feeding some people or something?
Yeah, we feed 1,500 people a day down there. You know, a bunch of volunteers. You know, the program existed before me and whatnot. You know, but
you're part of that. You're not the instigator.
Yeah, and everybody grows the last one that's going to come down. And, you know, everybody in our staff, down to my daughter Olivia, had to spend some time handing out food to people that are not as fortunate as we are.
Yeah, well, that's a good thing.
You know?
Yeah,
and he does that in India. You know,
Boy,
he's a big
challenge in
proponent
India.
of charity, and I just love that about you, man. I really do.
Yeah, but that's a real challenge.
Yeah.
There's a lot of problems in the country of India, for crying out loud.
Yeah.
But you've got this.
But if you could clone this guy about maybe 10,000 times, those
I think
problems
you
will
can-
disappear.
I think
You
you
need
can-
more proactive people like Yogesh that could say, hey, guess what? This is our culture. We have a beautiful culture, and let's preserve it, man.
I think you should have more Gregg Cannizzarros, don't you think? What do you
Ah,
think?
yeah,
You think
well,
your wife or
maybe
your
you never
mother
know
might
the next
agree?
show what happens with that one.
Yeah. But that's a big thing that's going on with you now there, and also, so you really got a lot going on. How do you feel about the media? What are the opportunities you can see for the independent filmmakers as you look out from this perspective? We're just coming into a whole new year. What are the opportunities? Is there a lot of opportunity for filmmakers? How do they go about it, young, old, in between, in terms of trying to get involved with the filmmaking genre or the filmmaking way of artistic expression and education, and the educational implications of all of that as we begin to look ahead into this year 2015?
I would say, it's a lot of different questions that are all pertinent. I would say this. The tools are out there, right? Mm-hmm. Don't listen to what people tell you about you can't do this and you can't do that. Mm-hmm. You can. And just the more you do it, the better you get at it. Mm-hmm. Harold, remember when you started? Mm-hmm. When I started? You must have went at one point, I want to do some interviews. And you went, oh, and you went and did interviews. Mm-hmm. And the more you did it, the better you got at it. Mm-hmm. So it all starts with believing in yourself.
Yeah.
And not believe, because there's no payoff. Mm-hmm. People always go, well, why don't you go into a vocational thing and become an HVAC person or a registered nurse? The air conditioners, the vocational schools.
Oh, vacation, yeah.
So, because they go, oh, that's a sure bet. Oh. But when you're an artist, that doesn't register in our minds.
I don't think the political class has cared that much for artists, except as things to hang on their walls.
Yeah.
Throughout all of history, the major.
Man, you just hit that right on the head.
The major significant things, they call them the works of civilization, are really given second tier consideration to those things that have to do with the material, economic, and political reality.
Spot
Unfortunately.
On.
And there's a lot of changes there's a lot of changes that are called for, but the opportunities are coming for a vastly liberated kind of order, as so much of the tasks of dealing with the needs of the material world are being, with human input in terms of what we would call labor, is being undercut by robotization, which is being transformed from information technology to where the human labor input, a lot of that was done by broken backs and labor fields and hot fields and hard work and almost slave-like conditions are being taken over, so that we may be having a place where people can be concerned with the major things that the arts have been concerned with. They call them the works of civilization. We may be just coming to a time when we could have massively appreciation and creation of the works of civilization rather than just mere material realities of products and things like that. So it may be a time of liberation that might be in hand, or if we don't carry it off to idealistic thinking and so forth. You think there's idealism at the heart of the creative spirit?
I think there is idealism, and I also think that you're able here in America, and hopefully it expands around the world, down to the Cuba, for example, Cuba.
Yeah, they just...
And like this, to express yourself, because you know what, we're all human beings, and we're in the human condition.
Yeah.
And it's available to us now that you can. Before, when Homer and Plato and doing the Iliad, it was very few were educated to write.
I know, right. No.
But now everybody can express themselves freely.
Yeah,
and it's just a wonderful, exciting time for filmmakers. It's like the D.W. Griffith era all over again.
It really
with
is.
a new medium.
Yeah. McLuhan said it, James Joyce said it, and that kind of things that maybe we're coming to that time, and it's just exciting. One would hope that's the case. We also have tremendous destructive capability that's developed in terms of our technological extension. It's a race. We can eliminate the Homo sapiens species with weapons that exist. I think the Trident submarine fleets could manage that if they were to be unleashed. Or we can liberate the whole Homo sapiens species from servitude that they've had to serve in order for there to be some march up the materialistic advantage that could be brought to everyone. People, we have a chance to eliminate or annihilate or liberate the human society. I think it'd be better if we went to the liberation.
Absolutely. You? Embrace this beautiful blue planet.
Yeah.
It's the only one on this side of the world.
Yeah. And then that's the thing that is going to best be served, perhaps, in the arts by people who are involved with the art of filmmaking. It's an art form, and the bringing of these things together. Ultimately, it's an educational challenge that we have for all levels of society, including our political class itself. The leadership political class needs to be educated, and through multimedia democratization of multimedia expressions, the educational potential is really great for helping to bring about that good result.
I absolutely concur with that.
So this is a major. This is a major.
Life is what you make of it. Man.
That's right.
And just have the best time. Because when we started the show,
yeah.
and I said, you know, it seems like every 2 months I'm a year older. And I know it's a cliche, you know, life goes so fast. It really does.
Okay, let's run the credits on there, and because we're closing on it. It's so good to talk to you, my brother.
Thank you, Dan.
And it does, and it's just an unusually moment of great pregnancy in terms of evolutionary understanding of events on this planet. And one of the most creative ways to deal with it is the arts, and the television is that. So thanks a lot for all the work.
And the Harold Channer show.
Well,
that's the amazing way to do it.
But anyway, your pleasure to have his perceptions, Gregg Cannizzarro. So good to see you again.
Thank you.
We ask you to tune in. We'll be coming back again tomorrow. That's it for this particular program. And once again, we can see it going. Gregg Cannizzarro, a really good guy who's got a lot going, and he's been sharing it here with you, and I'm very pleased to have been able to present that. All the best of 2015 coming up like a locomotive. And so do tune in. We'll be coming back again tomorrow. Once again, Gregg, thanks all very much for coming
thank you. Thank you.
My
as
pleasure.
Always.
Okay, that's a wrap, as they say in the business. No, not yet. You can't get up yet, because there may be something on YouTube. You see, maybe you got to learn to live in a world, groove in a supermod world, brother. You know, there's YouTube beyond the 50-second minute.
I was just going to give you a hug, brother. That's where I was going with it.
Well, okay. That's going up on YouTube, okay? Okay.
Wait, let me get this off. You got
9 more seconds.
Hey, we'll be right back.
Wait a minute. 9 more seconds. We didn't know.
You see, anything. The perfect example.
Are we out of this now?